With the emergence of true crime being so popular, right, we see all kinds of twisted, evil, and wild cases and sick, deranged criminals. But this case we're talking about here was a family, a married couple that seemingly was on the verge of splitting up, who lived out in rural land with 30 something horses outside of Kalamazoo, Michigan. And you see a lot of twisted stuff with married couples that have unaliving cases. And if this woman is indeed guilty for sure, let me know in the comments what you believe. I personally believe she is. I'll elaborate on it more in a moment as we cover more about the case, as it's in the headlines heavily right now. We're talking about Linda Stermer. This woman was convicted of offing her husband on 2 different occasions and hit with a life sentence on 2 different occasions, but she could possibly be free once again, as the timeline is nuts. The tragedy happened back in 2007. She wasn't convicted until 2010. 9 years later, in 2019, Innocence Projects got involved and she ended up coming home on an appeal, which then was held up on 2020 when it went back to court. Originally appeals court of the appeal, so the state appealing her appeal, in which she won, was ruled in her favor. But then in 2025, with the process playing out more, she was once again convicted and hit with a life sentence, which is where she is right now.
This was all horse pasture over here, and this was all our yard. At one time, we owned 120 acres here. It was our dream home. Todd designed every inch of that house himself.
Did you love Todd?
Oh, I don't even think I ever didn't love Todd. I think I fell in love with him so quickly, and I know that he loved me.
Firefighters found him unresponsive outside the home on County Road 215. He died of smoke inhalation and thermal injuries.
Linda, had it occurred to you that you would be a suspect in your husband's death?
It didn't even occur to me that it could even be ruled arson. All I'm thinking was, how did this happen? We are right now in our driveway facing where our front door used to be.
So what was it like on that January 7th?
It was in the low 30s. It had rained and drizzled all day. He's watching hunting shows upstairs. He's not doing much of anything. I'm doing laundry. I heard a scream like no other scream I'd ever heard from him. And I just rushed upstairs to see what in the world happened. And as soon as I got around the corner, I could see a fire across the living room. He looked like he was fighting the fire. I just rushed out of the house.
But the house is on fire? You didn't think about calling 911?
That wasn't my first thought. My first thought was to get out. Todd's going to get out. As long as he knows I'm out, he's going to get out. I thought, I've got to get help. I got in the van and I started to back up, and then all of a sudden he's there and he's jumping around and he's patting himself. His skin is burnt terribly. And I lost sight of him. I don't know where he went to.
Did you know you had run over your husband?
No.
What do you believe happened?
Our mother murdered our father. She drugged him with horse tranquilizer, and she set the house on fire, doused him in gasoline. Then after the fact, when he managed to get out of the house, she ran him over with her van.
You must know, Linda, that it's very difficult for people to believe that Your husband is burned in a fire. He escapes. He's still alive, badly burned. And then you hit him with a car? You just happen to have that kind of bad luck?
Bad luck doesn't even describe it.
So like I said, I don't believe it. I don't buy it, man. You heard her two sons. They flat out are like, Mom doused Dad in gas and set that fire and then ran him over. That just makes absolutely no sense to me that she got up out of the house, didn't think to call 911, but then was like, let me get in the van and get up out of here. That's what I got to do as the house is up in flames and I just saw him fighting the fire. And then there he is outside and she ends up losing sight of him and running him over. Come on, man, I'm not buying this. Then add on top of it the fact that a guy at the store said he saw her that morning pumping gas into a gas can, and her son said she woke them up super early, gave him money and was like, hey, go to the movies, got him up out of there. I mean, it all speaks for itself, in my opinion. She claims that she and the husband were about to split up. They were in the middle of all kinds of drama and fighting, and it was time to call it quits. So on that very same day, once again, bad luck, the day that you're gonna split up with the hubby, that she has to send the kids off to the movies, all this happens. Come on, man. Then she has a family member, I believe a brother, who is like, listen, don't believe that in anything she says. She's crazy. She's a pathological liar. She has a history of being unstable. She cheats, affairs, all that. That's what her brother says. But there's people that believe in her innocence. She also has two other kids. I believe they're daughters from a previous marriage that's continuing to lobby and support her, lobby for her to be set free once again. Again, peep the timeline. 07, the tragedy happens. She's suspected and all that, but not charged and convicted until 2019. Then 2010, then set free in 2019. Her appeal is held up in 2020, but then in 2025, she is once again convicted, which just happened. And of course, there's another appeal going on. This is getting major coverage, and I just can't for the life of me understand how anyone sees this and really says, oh, she's free. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's more info to take in, but this is basically the gist of it all, and I'm not buying it, man. She's a liar and just plain out evil, K-I-L-L-E-R. Imagine that. Lighting someone on fire that you love or loved, even if it's Splitsville, to do that to someone, that takes an extra kind of evil and psycho. To unalive someone in that instance, period, is messed up, but to do it in that way, I mean, that really takes some demonry. And on top of her story just not adding up to me, what my instincts is telling me, there's a lot with her body language as well there that just, like, yeah, I ain't buying it. But what do you think about this case? Leave it in the comments below. Do you agree with me that she's just a psycho, crazy, K-I-L-L-E-R housewife? Or are you believing the hype of everything just being just horrific bad luck? That is just an understatement or whatever she says. I mean, come on, man. And have you heard about this case before, or are you just hearing about it? Let me know. There's documentaries and all kinds of content coming out about this. So join the discussion and the debate in the comments. Subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for updates on this story as well as on other stories. And anyone out there, man, you're in a bad relationship, things ain't working out, yo, break up. You know what I mean? There's always a way out. Like, relationships can be crazy and they can drive people crazy. But, man, when it just comes to cheating and lying and all this twisted evil stuff, why treat someone that way? Especially, like, offing them goes without saying. Of course you don't do that. But why even treat someone that bad to this point where it gets to this? And people are just fucking crazy. And she's one of them, if you ask me.